guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica and this is Living Proof. Now before we get started, go ahead, hit that notification bell, that way you don't miss out on future videos like this one. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. So on today's video, I'm going to be discussing things that I wish I knew before I had a baby. I'm no expert by far on this motherhood journey. I just had a baby 6 months, well, about to be 6 months, and I have a beautiful baby girl. Her name is Santana, and there were just some things that I wish that I knew before I became a mom, and I want to share with you guys, and I want to share with women out there, because I actually do have a lot of friends who are pregnant right now who are new to this whole journey, and I'm new to it still. I only have one kid, so it's not like I'm an expert at all. But like I said, there were some things that I've noticed along the way that I wish I knew. The first thing that I want to talk about is postpartum blues and anxieties. So this is something that not a lot of people talk about. People, they'll discuss postpartum depression and signs to look for that. On your wellness checkup after you have your baby, your doctor will ask you several questions. You might even be asked to take a quiz, and this is all to diagnose whether or not you have postpartum depression. But no one really talks about postpartum blues and anxieties, and I'll tell you, more than likely you will go through some sort of postpartum blues, and what that looks like for you is totally different than what it looked like for me. I know for me, I didn't know that I was gonna go through this or experience this. I was so keen on, oh my god, I don't want postpartum depression. I was so worried about that, and I was so focused on those symptoms and not realizing that while I was so focused on one thing, another thing was actually going on with me. I actually took a friend of mine I called her crying, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going through all these emotions. And it took her to say hey, look, girl, calm down. It's postpartum blues. A lot of new moms go through it, and this is what it is, and this is how you can kind of work through it. And so for me, having my girlfriend there to identify that was huge, because I didn't know what was going on with me. And it was to the point where some examples, I was always on edge. Any little thing about my baby or something I was doing, I was so insecure about. I was always on edge about it. If my husband tried to critique anything I did, or if he, even commented or made comments about certain things, I would flip. I was very, just very fragile in those first couple of weeks. Any little thing made me cry. And this leads me to my next point, guys. The anxieties that you feel when you first have a baby are so tremendous. I remember, I think it was the second day that I had Santana home, and I just remember breaking down and hysterically crying because it was 2 in the morning. And I remember I broke down crying because I was worried about world peace. I was worried about global warming, the economy. I was worried about all these things because I was like, oh my god, my baby is going to grow up in this world, and it's my job to protect her and to make sure that she lives a good, happy, and healthy life. And I was just putting so much pressure on myself. And again, that all goes in with the postpartum blues. You put so much pressure on yourself, especially as a new mom, and just in general, and you forget that it's okay. You're gonna make mistakes along the way, and no child is perfect, no mom is perfect, and that's what makes motherhood so beautiful, is that everyone's journey looks different. So my advice, and the advice that my girlfriend gave me, was to rely on my husband, and Brandon was more than willing to help me in whatever I needed help in. He was up with me. Anytime I lifted my head off the pillow, he was right there with me. I'm pretty sure if he could breastfeed Santana in that moment, he would have done it for me, but because he was just so hands-on with anything that I needed, anything that she needed, and it was great. But at the same time, when you're going through those anxieties as a new mom, you feel like you have to do everything, and I didn't let him do the dad things that he could have done because I was so overbearing. I almost was a quintessential helicopter mom. And I don't know about anyone else, but I don't think that your partner really appreciates when you don't let them step in and do what they have to do for their baby. I mean, it's 50% his, 50% mine. So, he's just as involved and just as important as I am in the process. And I had to learn to let him be involved and do his dad things. Another thing that I wish I knew was, everyone talks about when you deliver a baby, everyone talks about you're gonna instantly fall in love, you're going to, you know, that baby's gonna be instantly, your heart is gonna be on the outside of your body, they're gonna instantly be yours, you're gonna know everything that's going on with them. And I did not. I mean, I felt an overwhelming sense of joy and love towards Santana, and I instantly knew that I was her mama and that she was mine. But I kind of, when I brought her home, I felt like I was caring for a stranger. I didn't know her. I didn't know her cries. I didn't know why she was upset certain times. There were some piercing cries, and I didn't know what any of them meant. I was trying my best, but again, it was almost like I was just caring for a stranger. I think that also added to my anxieties and my postpartum blues, but it was just an overwhelming sense of, oh my God, what am I doing all the time? And in the beginning, I literally Googled everything. And guys, I do have a lot of nieces and nephews. I have, you know, my sisters are all older than me, so they helped me, you know, through like my pregnancy. They helped give me advice, and I also have seen them have babies. And I've also been a nurse for quite some time, and there's nothing that can prepare you for bringing home your own baby. I Googled everything. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but the thing that they don't tell you in the beginning is that that is normal. Like, it's normal to feel like you're dealing with a stranger, like you don't know this baby. But another thing that people forget to mention is that with time, it gets so much better. And with time, and I mean like within a couple of weeks, you will start to know your baby. You will start to know their cries. Even before they start crying, just their facial expression, you know, like if they're pooping, you know, if their belly hurts them. And now, you know, Santana, like I said, is almost 6 months, and there's not a cry that she makes or a sound that she makes that I don't know what is wrong or I don't know what she wants. Just know, guys, that it does get a lot easier as time goes on. So another thing that I wish I knew before becoming a mom would have to be the overwhelming sense of guilt that you feel when you either are showering, using the bathroom, eating. Yeah, that is a big one. I don't know if you guys have struggled with this too, but my baby did not want me to put her down at all. In the very beginning, I would say the first 3 weeks of her life, she did not want to be put down. And I'm not even exaggerating. I would literally have to pee holding her. She would not, like, and if she did, she would scream, and I just couldn't take the little screams. I couldn't take the cries. I felt like a horrible person. So this was really hard for me because I felt guilty if I had to put her down to shower really quick. And my showers, I've gotten so good at showering with like within 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I've got it down to a science. So like because of that, because I had to work so quickly, because her, like she would only let me put her down for like 5 minutes at a time. And one thing I did pride myself on that I will say is I made sure that I took care of myself every single day. And although I may felt guilty at first, I made that, and that's another piece of advice that a girlfriend had given to me, is make sure that no matter what, you shower every single day. And a quick shower, honestly, a quick 5-minute shower makes a world of a difference in how you feel. Although like I wasn't doing my makeup, I wasn't getting dressed for the day, I was doing the basic necessities. And although I always say this, you know, those basic necessities, they're not luxuries. People say, oh, when you're a mom, like that's all luxury. But I personally, I don't think that's luxury. I think that's basic necessities in life. And yes, as a mom, they do become difficult to do it by yourself. But I do think that there's certain things that women need, and just people need in general, to feel human. You need to have help. For those of you who don't know, I live in California. I am originally from New York, and all of my family is on the East Coast. All my family is mostly in New York. I don't have, you know, my sisters around the corner, or my mom or my dad. I don't have my aunts and uncles around the corner, but I do have friends around the corner, and I do have friends who are moms who know the struggle and who knows what it's like. The same girlfriend who talked to me about my postpartum blues, she made a point to come to my house. I think Santana was maybe 2 weeks old at the time. I can't remember, but like somewhere in those early weeks, she made it a point to come to my house for a week straight every single day. And she would just hold the baby for me because Santana, like I said, wouldn't let me put her down. And so she would just hold the baby for me. She would literally come in my house, wash her hands, put her bags down, and just take the baby from me and say, you know what, you go and shower, you eat breakfast. Like, she wouldn't even expect me to pour her a glass of water, or like, she knew where the fridge was, she knew where the cabinet was, and she was more than willing to say, go take care of you and I have the baby. You feel a certain level of guilt when you have to take care of yourself and when you have to, you know, put the baby down. But just know, mamas, that it's okay to set time aside for yourself to do basic necessity things. It's okay for you to pee by yourself, for you to shower by yourself. It's okay to do those things, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. Next thing on my list is, okay, I had a very gassy baby. I still breastfeed, and I plan to breastfeed for as long as she wants. I'm gonna try and go, obviously, for the first year of her life, but if she wants to go a little longer, I'm okay with that. But she's not gonna be 6 years old sucking on my boobs. I digress. Anyway, in the beginning, you know, I will do a whole other video on breastfeeding because that in it of itself can take like 20 minutes talking about it. But in the beginning, Santana had an amazing latch. I didn't really have any problems with breastfeeding. The only thing was that Santana was very clingy with me, and she cluster fed all the time. So mama was pretty sore, but there was nothing that lanolin cream didn't help. However, she was very gassy, and a lot of things that I ate led to her being so gassy, and I felt tremendously guilty for that. When she was hurting, I was hurting. I remember she was crying because she was in so much pain. She was so gassy, and I didn't know what I ate, and I didn't know why she was crying. I didn't know why she was so fussy, and obviously I knew it was because of the gas, but I didn't know what was causing it, like in my diet. And I just remember I broke down crying, and I wanted to stop breastfeeding, guys. I wanted to give up because I thought that I was putting my child in pain and misery, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And so, like I said, I wanted to stop breastfeeding, but I'm so thankful that I didn't, and I'm so thankful that I stuck it out. And yes, she was very gassy. Yes, she was in a lot of pain, but I was able to, again, learn what she didn't like, what I ate that caused her a lot of pain. So I cut out dairy, I cut out spices. Like, I remember I was just putting salt and pepper on things, which, if you're Caribbean, you know, it's like a 7-spice minimum on your food. And I couldn't do that. I just upped salt and pepper. I had to do a lot. It was a lot. And I'm so thankful that I didn't give up on it, because I did have a really good breastfeeding story and a breastfeeding journey, but that was the only thing. In the beginning, it was very hard because of how gassy she was. And also, that leads me to my next point. Because she was so gassy, she would not sleep at night. She would be up, like, and this kid literally would be up, like, she would lay flat in the bassinet and then flail her legs up because she like had a gas bubble and just needed to get the gas out or something, like. And so that would keep her up, and she didn't sleep in the bassinet. No one prepares you for that. No one tells you that your baby may not sleep in the bassinet. Your baby may want to be held the entire time at night. Your baby may hate sleeping on their back. Like my kid, she hated sleeping on her back. The only thing that would soothe her is if she was laying on her stomach, which I think because of the pressure and it helped alleviate some of her gas, she would want to lay on her stomach on my chest or Brandon's chest, and that was the only way she slept. So again, obviously that's dangerous because they say you can't sleep with your baby, that they shouldn't sleep on their stomach. And so Brandon and I were so sleep deprived. And this also brings me to my next point. Because you're so sleep deprived, no one tells you, okay, everyone tells you that you're not gonna sleep, that when you have a baby, you're never gonna sleep, everything's gonna be about that baby, and that's true, okay? But no one tells you that it's gonna take a lot of strain on you and your partner's relationship. I don't care who you are. If you have a newborn baby and you and your partner are both up in the middle of the night, you will have at some point an argument, okay? And I'm talking about those arguments that at 4 a.m. you guys are calling each other names or like being so rude to each other that the next morning you don't even want to talk about it because you're like, I wasn't myself, I wasn't in my right mind. Please, it's like when we woke up in the morning, we instantly forgave each other, and it was like we didn't have to say sorry to each other because we knew, okay, we just weren't ourselves. And so I say all that to say, it took a lot of communication in the beginning and a lot of prayer, a lot of counseling, because we did call our premarital counselors and our pastors in the beginning because we really wanted to make sure that we were on the same page, that we worked through whatever it was that we were going through. And again, it's not an easy task. Being a parent is hard. Bringing a life into this world is very hard, and it's almost like you guys have to learn each other all over again. Another thing on my list is making sure that you are tending to your mental health postpartum. What I mean by that is taking mental breaks, okay? Breastfeeding a baby, feeding a baby, caring for that baby, day in and day out, 24/7 is very difficult, and it's very easy for you to kind of lose your thoughts and lose track of things. And like I talked about with postpartum blues and postpartum anxieties, all of that over time will weigh so heavily on you. And so you have to take care of your mental, whether that's going for walks, and that's a big one in the beginning, because I couldn't work out. You can't really work out for the first 6 to 8 weeks after you have a baby. I would walk all the time. Just that time alone by myself made a world of a difference. I felt myself getting so lost and getting just so overwhelmed easily, and not focusing on what mattered the most, and that was just enjoying motherhood, enjoying the journey, enjoying learning Santana, learning Brandon all over again. I didn't do that. I felt just anxiety all the time. I felt just emotionally drained all the time. And so that is a really big one, guys. Once I realized that I was doing that, and again, it took a girlfriend and Brandon to kind of say, Erica, you need to slow down. Once I realized I started doing that, I put my mental health first, and it made a world of a difference. Mamas, everyone always tells you, yeah, you need nursing bras, you need nursing tank tops, you need cute maternity robes and things like that. I was naked majority of the time in the beginning. You don't care about clothes because at 2 a.m. having to fuss with a nursing bra and a tank top, I don't have time for that. Yes, you do want to, don't get me wrong, you do want to invest in like some good, like quintessential, maybe 2 or 3 like nursing tank tops, and definitely invest in a couple nursing bras because they do help, especially if you're pumping, they definitely do help. But in the very beginning, and I'm talking about like maybe the first week or so, I didn't care about clothes. My bra and panties, that's all I was in. And in the beginning, that you don't really care about that. I will say now, week 2, 3, and so on, yes, you do want to lounge around in something cute. So I would say, like, when you're still pregnant, maybe in the last trimester, start looking for like some cute yoga pants, leggings, cute tank tops and things like that. Because of course, yes, you do, although you're not like getting dolled up, you're not wearing jeans or anything like that around the house, you do want to be comfortable, but you also do want to feel good about yourself. And when you look good, and that's when you like feel good, which I think. The last thing on my list, guys, is comparison. So again, people tell you all the time before you have a baby, don't compare yourself, you do you, you're a good mom. And those are all really good pieces of advice, but it's a lot easier said than done. When you are a new mom, comparison is something that you do just like subconsciously. You're scrolling through Instagram and you see other moms, or you're scrolling through those cute little like mommy and me pages, and it's only natural for you to compare yourself. And like I said, you'll do it subconsciously. And I just want to tell you that you're not alone in that. People, women compare each other all the time, but especially when you're a mom, you compare yourself and what you look like, your postpartum body, what you're doing, like as far as like breastfeeding or bottle feeding, or like cloth diapers versus like, one-time use diapers or whatever. Like, you are always comparing yourself. It's only natural that, we compare ourselves, especially with social media and nowadays. But I will say, try your hardest to notice that you're comparing and then stop it in the moment. But just know that obviously you're a good mom, whatever you decide to do for your baby, you're a great mom. And that goes without saying. If you do find yourself comparing, it's normal, it's only natural, but it also can overwhelm you and make you feel like you're going crazy. So when you compare yourself, stop in the moment, take a breather, and just put your phone down or just, clear your mind, pray, whatever it is that you need to do in order to stop that in the moment. All right, guys, so that concludes today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I am kind of pouring my heart out because, again, I'm so passionate about these things. I am so grateful to be a mom. I'm so grateful to have been given the gift of bringing life into this world and sustaining it with my body. I am so grateful that God chose me to be Santana's mom, and I would never, ever trade it for the world. And I just wanted to share these things with you because I think that it's time for us to start having a conversation about it, start talking about women's health, and just, again, these are some things that they may look different for you, things that you wish you knew before you had a baby, but this is just personal to me, and I really hope that this video helps you mamas out there, especially all my women out there who are pregnant now and about to have a baby. I really pray for you guys, and I pray that this video does help in some way. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below and let me know how this video has helped you, or what are some things that you wish that you knew before you had a baby. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell again, and make sure to check out my previous video, which was a family vlog that Brandon and I did. Go ahead and check that out, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Bye, guys.